Welcome students. Today, we are going to see week number 17. In week number 17, we are going to discuss about the topic of solder and soldering. Let's see the objectives of this topic. You shall be able to define a solder and soldering flux. State the types of solders. State the types of soldering flux. Now, see the definition of solder. Solder is a bonding filler metal used in soldering process. Pure metals or alloys are used as solders. Solders are applied in the form of wires, sticks, ingots, rods, threads, tapes, formed sections, powder, pastes, etc. And the next one is types of solders. There are two types of solders. The first one is soft solder, and the second is hard solder. Let's briefly see the types, one by one. The first one is the definition of soft solder. Soft solders are alloys of tin and lead in varying proportions. They are called soft solders because of their comparatively low melting point. One distinguishes between soft solder, whose melting points are 450 degrees Celsius, and the next one, we are going to discuss about the definition of hard solder. These are alloys of copper, tin, silver, zinc, cadmium, and phosphorus, and are used for soldering heavy metals. Hard solders, whose melting points lie above 450 degrees Celsius. After the solder topic, we are going to discuss about the topic of soldering flux. All metal rust to some extent when exposed to the atmosphere because of oxidation. The layer of the rust must be removed before soldering. For this, a chemical compound applied to the joint is called flux. Before we can make a soldering, first we have to select the soldering flux. The following criteria are important for selecting a flux. The first one is working temperature of the solder. Second one is soldering process. And the last one is material to be joined. After the selection of flux, next, see about the types of flux. Flux can be classified as: first one is inorganic or corrosive active flux. Second one is organic or non-corrosive passive flux. Let's see the definition of inorganic fluxes. Inorganic fluxes are acidic and chemically active and remove oxides by chemically dissolving them. They are applied by brush directly onto the surface to be soldered and should be washed immediately after the soldering operation is completed. The inorganic fluxes are classified as: first, hydrochloric acid; second, zinc chloride; third, ammonium chloride or sal ammoniac; and the last, phosphoric acid. First, see the definition of hydrochloric acid. Concentrated hydrochloric acid is a liquid which fumes when it comes into contact with air. After mixing with water, 2 or 3 times the quantity of the acid, it is used as dilute hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid combines with zinc, forming zinc chloride, and acts as a flux. The second one, we are going to see the definition of zinc chloride. Zinc chloride is produced by adding small pieces of clean zinc to hydrochloric acid. It gives off hydrogen gas and heat after a vigorous bubbling action, thus producing zinc chloride. The zinc chloride is prepared in heat-resisting glass beakers in small quantities. Next, we are going to see the definition of ammonium chloride, or sul ammoniac. It is a solid white crystalline substance used when soldering copper, brass, iron, and steel. It is used in the form of powder or mixed with water. It is also used as a cleaning agent in dipping solution. And the last one is affination of phosphoric acid. It is mainly used as flux for stainless steel. It is extremely reactive. It is stored in plastic containers because it attacks glass. And the next, we are going to see the definition of second type of flux is organic flux. Organic fluxes are chemically inactive. These fluxes coat the surface of the metals to be joined and exclude the air from the surface to avoid further oxidation. They are applied only to the metal surfaces which have been previously cleaned by mechanical abrasion. They are in the form of lump, powder, paste, or liquid. And the organic fluxes are classified as: first one is resin, and the second one is tallow. First, we are going to see the definition of resin. It is an umber-colored substance extracted from pine tree sap. It is available in paste or powder form. Resin is used for soldering copper, brass, bronze, tin plate, cadmium, nickel, silver, and some alloys of these metals. This is used extensively for electrical soldering work. And second, we are going to see the definition of tallow. It is a form of animal fat. It is used when soldering lead, brass, and pewter. With the remembrance of this topic, we are going to play a quiz game. The question is: what is the melting point of soft solder? The options are: A. 100 degrees Celsius, B. 450 degrees Celsius, C. 0 degrees Celsius, D. 500 degrees Celsius. And the answer is B. 450 degrees Celsius. With this, we are completed the topic of solder and soldering flux. In the next video, we will be back with the topic of brief explanation of soft and hard solder. Thank you.